Witam, guys. It is Shem at 20 pages once again. And in this episode, we're going to go on to the second part of the next 20 pages in the Law of Attraction. So in today's episode, there's a little bit more information than there was yesterday because of the fact that yesterday was kind of just an intro to the book. But let's move on. Let's jump right into this. So there's 3 points once again, but they're kind of a little bit more intensified in the fact that there's subcategories, as you see in point number 3. But going on to the first one, the powerful meaning behind words. Now, whenever you say words, you kind of just think, they're just words. They're expressing how you feel, right? Exactly, how you feel. So whenever you're creating these words, whenever you're putting them out into the universe, what originates these words is thoughts. And these thoughts derive from feelings. And these feelings have positive or negative energy put into them. And going back to yesterday's episode, how we discussed positive energy and negative energy, that energy that you're putting into your feelings goes out to the universe by the words that you're saying, the words that you're putting out into the world. That is how interesting and how powerful the meaning of words are. Because of those feelings that you have built inside of you that you are putting out into the universe is what you're going to be getting back in return. It's a very interesting concept because we kind of just use words as a form of communication. But there's a lot more to it than just communication. Going on to the next point though, don't, not, and no. A very interesting point that Michael J. Losier points out. So let's get started right away. Let's do a quick example. Don't think about the Statue of Liberty. Did you think about the Statue of Liberty? I bet you did. How about this example? Don't hit the big red button. You have that temptation to hit that red button. I know you do. We all do. And that's the interesting point, actually. Because you have that temptation, you're putting that into the world. You have that feeling of, I'm going to do it, although you're saying you're not going to do it because you say don't, no, or not. Or whatever, don't, not, no. So whenever you say those sayings, you're inadvertently kind of putting energy towards it because you want to do it and you might end up doing it. That's why I like the example of don't hit that red button. Because whenever you see that button, you have that temptation, I want to touch that big red button. So that's an interesting point. So how do you get around this? Simply, all you have to ask is, so what do I want? So I'm going to actually bring up a great point, a little example. I'm going to do the same thing as yesterday, right? Yeah. And right over here we have a few examples of don't, not, and no's. So we got don't get mad, I'm not blaming, don't hesitate to call me, don't panic, and so on. I'll just give a few examples of how to switch it to the positive way. So these are all negative. Now let's go to the positive of them. So let's start with don't get mad. Let's switch to the positive. Everything's okay. There's no reason to get mad. Boom. Let's go with don't panic. Everything's going to be all right. Simple as that. Next one, let's look at don't worry. Once again, kind of goes with don't panic. Everything's going to be fine. See how you just simply have to switch it up and it automatically gives a better feeling, a better vibe as you will, as we talked about yesterday. And that's what you ultimately want in the Law of Attraction. You want good vibes because the more good vibes you put out, the more good you will get in return. So that's an awesome way to flip the paradigm of the don't, not, no's. Instead of thinking of that negative mindset, you kind of flip it to the positive mindset. So now let's go on to the third point, which actually in this first 20 or in these 20 pages, it only discusses to identify your desire and not the other 2 points. But we're going to go about those 2 points in the next video, so we're just going to focus on the 1 point today. So first off, what is deliberate attraction? Deliberate attraction is pretty much the methods that you're going to be putting into place with the Law of Attraction to get what you desire. So it's literally kind of says in the word, you're deliberately trying to get that attraction into your life. So there's 3 steps. First one is identify your desire. Second one is give your desire attention. And the third one is allow it. But like I said, we're only going to touch up on the first one, which is identify your desire. And within identifying your desire, there is contrast and clarity. Michael J. Losier kind of points out actually a great little worksheet, which I'll pop up right now. And I would actually go with this example because it pretty much explains this very, very nicely. So whenever you're identifying your desire, for example, Janice's situation, which was, or Janice, well, it is Janice. Yeah, it is Janice. Okay, so when Janice's situation is that she's trying to look for her ideal relationship. So you see all in the contrast category, it's the things that she doesn't like. It's the things that she's experienced in her life, that she, in her past relationships, that she already knows she doesn't like those things in certain people whenever she's trying to find her ideal mate. So whenever you switch the contrast to the clarity, you're going to use that saying, so what do I want? So for example, let's look at her contrast, her first contrast. Things she doesn't like. She doesn't like controlling. She doesn't like poor listening or poor listener. Someone that's not affectionate, and so on. So whenever we flip the paradigm and we ask, so what do I want? Or when she asks, so what do I want? She asks, instead of getting a controlling boyfriend, so what do I want? I want someone who's flexible and well balanced. And then she goes to the next point. Poor listener. So I don't like that. So what do I want instead? I want someone that has great listening skills. Going on to the next point. Someone that's not affectionate. I don't like that. What do I want instead? I want someone who's affectionate and sensitive and actually gives romance. Simple as that. And the list goes on, so you kind of get a good idea. I would suggest writing this out and doing your own ideal situation, and whenever you see those things that you don't like in your life, flip it, and boom, you finally realize what you really do want and what you are looking for in your life. I've implemented this in my life, and I'm not gonna lie, it's crazy. The things I've realized that I've never really liked, but I never wrote it down on paper and I never realized. But once I wrote it down and I saw how it's going and how it's affecting my life, I'm actually seeing the things that I want, and those are the things I'm pursuing after. So that's the law of attraction in play right then and there, because I'm trying to attract those things that I want. With that saying, so what do I want? So guys, that is pretty much it for the next 20 pages of the law of attraction. There's a lot more information in this one, but great concepts. It's things you can employ into your life pretty much right away. That's what I love about this book. There's so many things that you can just apply right away instead of waiting till a certain moment. So if I were you guys, I would take advantage of these, look into them. Alright guys, I don't like doing chopping up videos and editing it in that sense. I like having one straight long video because it shows the authenticity of who I really am. But unfortunately, I ran out of storage on my phone and it cut out in recording. So what I wanted to add at the very end was just my social media handles. So please like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and please subscribe on YouTube. I'd really appreciate it, guys. And everyone, take care and keep on reading. Read your 20 pages a day and grow and learn.